This week in gaming has been one of the biggest of the year, with a major update from Battlefield 6, shocking news about the future of Arc Raiders, one of the biggest early access launches ever, and much more. The Battlefield 6 Season 3 update blew past everyone's expectations, delivering perhaps the best map the game has gotten since launch, and also making a slew of vehicle changes that makes them much more fun to play with and against. Railway to Golmud is currently the biggest map in Battlefield 6, and many players are relieved the game finally has a massive sandbox map that supports proper vehicle gameplay. It's also a visually stunning remake that fixes many of the biggest issues with the original Golmud Railway, making it, well, a fun map for everyone. I did a full video breakdown on the update, so be sure to check that out after this. Overall, my takeaway was extremely positive. The next map for Battlefield 6, Cairo Bazaar, launches in June, and Season 4 is due out in July. The update will include a new map called Suru Reef and a new remake of Wake Island. Both maps are poised to offer the same massive scale and sandbox gameplay Battlefield 6 players have been waiting for. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in the Battlefield community. There are still some lingering concerns about the Season 3 update from players. Jets still haven't gotten any new items or significant balance changes. DICE have also seemingly removed the class-locked weapons playlist from the game. These were celebrated by veteran players at launch, preserving the original class-based design that the franchise was known for, but now the only matchmaking options available are for the open system. The developers of the sci-fi social extraction shooter Arc Raiders announced a major change to the timing of future updates. The game is switching from monthly releases to major updates rolling out every 6 months. In between will be smaller live service updates with new trials, cosmetics, player events, and balance changes. The change, of course, draws into question concerns about Arc Raiders' momentum and longevity, but the announcement makes it sound like future updates will be much bigger launch events that radically change the game. Embark says future updates will essentially be major expansions that reshape how the game plays and might even shift the core experience. They say they want to evolve the game and potentially explore raiders reclaiming the surface from the Arc threat, so who knows what that would even look like in terms of gameplay. For the here and now, the game's next major update, Frozen Trial, is launching in October. The map shipping with the update will be the game's biggest one yet and should finally offer some lore explaining where the Arc came from. Next week, we're getting a new trader that will offer rewards in exchange for exotic loot, including increased stash space and a vault for 5 items that will save when you complete an expedition. As for concerns about the future of Arc Raiders, the game's publisher Nexon confirmed this week that the game has sold 16 million units. So at least when it comes to funding, Embark are clearly in the green. It sounds like Krafton will in fact be paying the developers of Subnautica 2 that $250 million bonus after all. The underwater survival adventure game launched in early access this week and racked up over 2 million units sold within 12 hours and is currently at over 400,000 concurrent players on Steam alone. And if you're out of the loop on all of the drama, Krafton CEO tried to fire the head of Unknown Worlds and delay the game's launch to get out of paying a $250 million performance bonus. The plan backfired, with the studio heads winning in court and regaining control of development. Subnautica 2 is also getting top reviews from critics and players, with a very positive preview rating on Steam and glowing reviews from media outlets. The one caveat to the game getting absolutely top marks are a number of missing features, performance issues, and stability problems. Users are reporting the lack of basic features like an FOV slider, there's a bunch of crashes, and more. Star Citizen, one of the biggest games and crowdfunded projects in history, has stirred up a bit of drama around its latest patch. The game's 4.8 update included a total wipe for all players. This was done to combat a recent wave of exploits that gave users abusing these exploits essentially unlimited in-universe money to buy whatever ships and gears they wanted. It's a common misconception that the only way to get new ships in Star Citizen is to buy them with real-world money, but every ship in the game can eventually be bought using in-game credits called AUEC earned via gameplay. Ongoing and even new exploits allow players to accrue billions of this currency and bypass the game's entire economy. Now, the 4.8 update adds a ton of new mechanics to the game, like dynamic G-force tolerances based on your equipped armor and clothes, new missions, save ship loadouts, 2 new ships, new FPS weapons, and much more. Unfortunately, the update has also proven to be incredibly buggy, which is not uncommon with Star Citizen. Players are reporting that their ships are getting destroyed before even making it to the hangar elevator. The bugs are so extensive that CIG have canceled the free fly event that was scheduled to launch with this update. It also sounds like new exploits have been discovered again that let players give themselves, once again, unlimited money, questioning the whole player wipe in the first place. Marathon, much like Arc Raiders, has announced major updates of their own that could have deep implications for the future of the game. This week, the developers released a blog post outlining their plans for the future of the game based on player feedback collected since launch. They're currently working on new modes to the game, like a dedicated PvE and PvP options that will roll out with the Season 2 update. The blog post also outlines some general info about future seasons. In Season 3, players will likely see major map updates and new character types, plus some meaningful changes to the early game experience for new players. Season 4 will add more depth to the core extraction gameplay loop, and Season 5 will focus on major PvE and PvP changes. Tactical FPS Hell Let Loose Vietnam has a release date, and it's a lot sooner than players were expecting. It's launching on June 18th. Recent playtesters reported major performance issues, missing features, placeholder menus, and many balance concern. And while playtests were likely conducted with an older build of the game, players seem to feel that the game was much further out from a polished retail launch. The original Hell Let Loose was initially crowdfunded and had an extensive early access phase. Sadly, even to this day, it suffers from lingering performance problems, so hopefully Hell Let Loose Vietnam doesn't suffer the same fate. The charming black and white detective FPS Mouse PI for Hire has sold better than expected, with 730,000 copies sold since launch 1 month ago. The game has been celebrated for its hand-drawn rubber hose style animation and currently has over 94% positive reviews on Steam. Thanks to the stronger than expected sales, the game has recouped its development, publishing, and marketing costs. Crow Team has announced the third and final entry in their FPS puzzle platformer series, the Talos Principle. The first 2 games are celebrated for their philosophical narrative about the extinction of humanity and expertly crafted puzzles. Hopefully the third game lives up to the hype and delivers a solid conclusion to the series. The original versions of both Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light have just launched on GOG. The original versions have been hard to find since they've been delisted from most digital stores. GOG's versions of the game now come with new bug fixes and performance improvements as part of the game's preservation program that should make them a bit more playable. This is an interesting conundrum of game preservation, as many successful games often get replaced or updated with remasters down the road, which is what happened to these. And then when those remasters become successful or become the definitive way of playing the game, the original versions tend to disappear. It's very cool that GOG is making efforts to preserve the original copies. Up next, check out my review of Battlefield 6 Season 3 in the new Gold Mud map. It is pretty fantastic. You don't want to miss it. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.